Hi everyone, Nevada Nail Person, and today I'm just going to do an update what was in my makeup basket and what I wore this week. And I have a tip too. This was a slow week for me. I only had one interview where I actually did up the makeup, and then for the remainder of the week I either wore no makeup or very minimal, kind of like what I have on now. If I had to go somewhere. So that's it. So let me share what I did use and some of my thoughts about some of the products I used this week. So of course it's still like one drip droppy left in my Urban Decay vitamin infused complexion prep spray. And the one day that I did actually wear something on my face, although it wasn't the Tarte makeup, the Amazonian clay. I didn't wear that, but I did put a primer underneath just to coat things and see them breaking out, probably from stress. And I noticed I have a bruise on my chin too. I don't even know where that came from, but it's a bruise. But I did use this when I did put something on my face. Like I said on previous videos, this does give you a fair amount of coverage for a BB cream. So this is what I actually wore on the interview and what I have on today and what I wore another time or two this week as well. So it's probably maybe one more use than this guy. Now for my eyes, I wore as a base, I was trying to use up my Painterly paint pot, which I have a tip I'll share at the end. And then I would dust my eye with a little bit of Wet n Wild Creme Brulee just to set it. And then I used the Essence All About Nude palette this week on my actual eye for the interview, and it's kind of like pinky toned. I used it in conjunction with my Naked Basics palette because this has the matte shades in it, so these shades here. And then I think I just combined it with a little bit of this pinkier shade, something very light, not much. I really like these little Essence palettes. They are all shimmery, so if you need a matte shade, you might have to resort to some other source, which is why I always leave this guy in my basket in case I need a matte shade. And there is a shimmer or two in this palette as well, but typically it's more for a brow bone if you want a shimmery, but if you want the lighter shade of brown or like a tan taupey shade, then that's in here. So use these two guys. An inner corner highlight, I use this guy. I love this Susan Statement Skin highlighting crayon. So it's an illuminator that I just love, love, love. So it's great on the inner corner. And then underneath my eye, I've been using this because I really want to use this baby up. And underneath this, the Becca Brightening Corrector, Under Eye Brightening Corrector. So I'm really making a dent in this. You can see it's really being well loved. So I really like it a lot. And then of course setting with the e.l.f. High Def Setting Powder. As far as highlighting would go, or bronzing I should say, I used my Hoola, and I actually didn't even use that much of it. I've used very little, if any, because it just has this little brush and I don't even have to pull out another brush. I just go do, 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 and done. So I'm really not using a lot of bronzer right now. On days like today where I just used a few cream products, I use my Kevyn Aucoin. This is the Sculpting Duo number 4 in medium and Candlelight. And you could tell that this is well loved too because look at the dents in it. And this is an interesting product if you like cream products. And then I was using my Becca shimmering, what was it, beach tint? Beach tint? I know there's two different ones. This is the Becca Shimmering Souffle Beach Tint in Watermelon Moonstone. So this has pretty much been a staple. I love this, and ironically it does kind of smell like watermelon. I don't know. It smells good. It smells like candy. So that's the blush I have on, and it just gives you that little iridescent, that shimmer as well. Little illumination built in. I also pulled out my Becca Afterglow palette, and I only used this the one day, because it's the one day that I had the interview. So I actually used this as the blush and a little bit of this as a highlighter, and that was it. So really I haven't had a good chance to play with this yet, so I'm going to leave that in there. And this week I decided to pull out, or it's still in my basket, I just kind of rotate the CoverGirl Supersizer Mascara. And I'm still on the fence about this. I really have to curl up my eyelashes to get any length and volume out of this guy. And it's not like I could do multiple coats for my eyelashes. I have very sparse, thin, straight eyelashes. So when I start applying it, I just do continuous coats until I'm done. I can't let it dry and go back, or I get just one big clump and I have 3 eyelashes, so I can't do that. But if I use it in that method, that I'm just using it continuously, then I'm fine, and then it's okay. So it does have that crazy wand that is kind of thin, and kind of, you have to pull it from the base of your lashes. So it's okay. I don't hate it. Usually with mascaras I hate them and I won't use them and throw them right out. So I will use it up, but again, not my fave. And then for eyeliner, of course, my Lorac Front of the Line, dark brown. I've been using this up. I'm afraid to see how much is left in it because I use it almost every day. So I really like that guy. And then, of course, on my brows, my It Cosmetics Your Brows But Better in the Universal shade. And I just saw that they have shades now. They actually came out with, it's on the It Cosmetics website, that you can get a blonde universal, a brown universal, like a dark brown universal. So they're expanding. So I guess they realize universal doesn't necessarily one size fits all. So I guess they're narrowing down, or expanding, I should say, their shade ranges to accommodate for eyebrows. So that's nice news. And then my Anastasia Tinted Brow Gel. Something I wouldn't use on my own, but in conjunction with, it's fine. It's not one of those that has fibers in it, so it just kind of holds your eyelashes in place, kind of like a hairspray, but no fibers to build brows, which really doesn't work for me because I have such thin eyebrows as it is. And then for lipsticks, or lip products, I should say, for the interview, I like to pull out long-lasting or liquid lipstick, so this way it's not all of my teeth like that. And this case I wore the Milani Amore Matte Lip Cream in number 4 Lust, and this was great. I applied it like an hour before, and like a few minutes before I just did a little touch-up, and it was fine a few hours later. So I would say this could probably last a good 6 hours. And honestly, I know there's mixed reviews about Milani's liquid lipsticks, but I own the ColourPop ones as well, and this one is not nearly as drying. I know people have said this is very drying, but the ColourPop ones are much more drying to your lips than this guy, and the wear time's about the same. So, and the cost it's about the same as well as ColourPop's, I think 6. This was 6 or 7. And then this is the Wet n Wild Bordeaux Bitten in one of their, I guess, the Halloween collection. So that's what I have on now. So something different. I really don't have much on my eyes, so I thought I could get away with a more berry lip. And then finishing with my L'Oreal Makeup Extender Setting Spray. And then the one tip I had this week, I was really ready to get rid of my Painterly paint pot. And I did a little research to see if there was anything out there that had to revive this. Because I believe I showed in my last video that it was all separated and pulled to the middle, and I really wasn't getting good product on my fingers to apply it or with a brush. So when I looked up how to fix this, I found a few YouTubers, and I unfortunately did not note their name, so I will thank the YouTube beauty community in general. Thank you. But all I did was, and what they recommended was just go in and stir it. Literally go in and stir it. And I stirred it with one of those paddles you get with a Z palette. So it's a metal palette, a little metal wand with a flat paddle. Just stirred it up. I actually used like 2 drops of Visine because some recommended like saline solution for contacts, but I don't wear contacts, so I tried some Visine, and it actually worked. It doesn't look very pretty, but it's smoother. I can apply it now. I could use a brush with it, and it worked. So if you have one of these MAC Painterly paint pots or any other paint pots, I have another one as well. I don't have many of these guys. This one's called Chilled on Ice, so I did the same thing. And same performance. It's smoother now. I mean, it's just really way smoother. And I'm really impressed, and I'm very happy. So I didn't throw it out. So that's a little tip for you guys. If you have any of these paint pots, I would say, or they're actually called Pro Longwear Paint Pot. If you have any of these, stir them up. Maybe use a little Visine. But other than that, it'll work. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you soon.